Friday again, that means it's Friday roundup time, and this week we're going to do a little bit of a sort of 5 minutes on English axles. In front of me here we've got a Mark 1 Cortina casing with an English axle in, with the original steel housing there for the differential. This one is actually out of the blue Project Patina that's up there that we don't seem to be able to get on at the moment, but this axle's already been built, ready to go. It's got our gussets on it. It's got the Watts linkage on the back of it and our 4-link brackets. And then what this is here, this is the casing that's going to be going in that car. This is just a standard Mark 1 Escort casing. And these are standard Mark 1 Escort shafts. These from the factory are 22 spline. And if you've got much more than sort of 100 horsepower and you're pushing on with it, maybe do some donuts or things, then you tend to break the shafts, especially if you've got an LSD in it. And coming on to the LSD, we do several types of LSDs. We do the 22 spline, so that's just a direct replacement for your original differential. Or we also do an uprated differentials with Atlas internals, and we do them with a plated LSD and a helical LSD. That one there's a plated, that one there is a helical. So we also do the uprated shafts, as I've said. They're 18 spline. Both of those are 18 spline as well. So with that differential and that half shaft, it's pretty much bulletproof. There's people out there running 300, sort of 350 horsepower with this kit in, and yeah, touch wood, we've not had any breakages with these shafts. So if you want to build yourself a differential, then we are pretty much the one-stop shop for everything you need. So you can actually build yourself a complete differential from scratch with all the components we keep on the shelf. So we do a aluminium housing that replaces the steel housing, and yeah, there's such a massive weight saving with that. And then we do all the genuine Timken bearings that go in there. We do the crush tube, oil seal, the diff gasket. We also do driven oil, which I'm running in a few cars at the moment. That's good, and that's good for both standard differentials and LSDs. We also do the side adjusters for these, for when setting up your differential. And we do get asked an awful lot of questions about, if I've bought an LSD and I want to keep my original crown wheel and pinion, then do I need to take the pinion out? And the answer to that is no. You can keep the pinion in, and it's just a matter of swapping it out, setting what's called your cap spread, which is the preload that you put on these. You have to put a dial gauge on that and then put a cap spread on them, and then you adjust it so you've got a certain amount of backlash. You do that with a dial gauge. But if you're a bit switched on, that's the sort of thing you can do at home. And then we do every single crown wheel and pinion that Ford manufactured, which was 9, I think. I think they started at 354 and went all the way. Ford used to do a motorsport 528, I think it is. I think people call it a 53 typically, and that's a 3.3 that Ford never manufactured. So typically the highest ratio differential you could put in your car was a 354. Now a 354 would have been fitted to Mark II Escorts, 16 Sports, 16 gears, RS 2000s, Mark II Mexicos, RS 1800s, and yeah, you're struggling to get a good one of those these days. But a lot of our customers that have got sort of maybe concours cars or somewhere approaching concours, and it's got a 4-speed gearbox in it, and they really, on the motorway, they find it revs a little bit hard, then the 3.3 is perfect, because that brings your revs down a little bit. But not only can you use it with a 4-speed box and it gives you a sort of effective, a little bit of an overdrive, you can also use it with a Type 9 gearbox, and then you've got a real nice sort of cruising car. And because Type 9s have got quite low ratios in the sort of first 2 gears, then it brings those up, makes it a bit more of a usable gearbox. So we do those as well. We do the diff flanges. We do them in an 86 and a 92, so that's double drilled. So that's all of your early stuff, Mark 1, early Mark 1 Escort, Anglia, Mark 1 Cortina. So that fits that. And then sort of about 1972-ish, I think that car, 72-ish, they went to a 109mm flange, and we do those as well. We also do the washer and locking nut for the pinion. So yeah, there isn't anything we don't do for that. So yeah, if you need some bits for your English axle, then yeah, by all means give us a shout. All of my staff are pretty genned up on what you need. And the only other thing that we do get a lot of questions about is setting up the pinion height. Now, it is quite difficult to set up the pinion height at home. You need quite a lot of kit to set that up. But typically, if you've got an existing casing and you want to put, say, any of our new crown wheel and pinions in there, and you're worried that you don't know how to set the height up on that, typically, if you replace the bearings, especially if they're Timken ones, the quality of the bearings is that the height is kept the same, and then all you do is use your existing shim that comes underneath your pinion there in the bearing, and that's what Ford did to set the height correctly, because you can't machine these absolutely bob on. What they do is they machine it with the bearing too low, and then they use a shim to stack that up to get it in the correct place. So typically, if you use the shim that's out of your casing, so something like this, a steel casing that comes like that with a pinion already in it, then you can normally get away with using the shim that comes with it. But it's always worth putting some yellow paste on there that shows you whether the teeth engagement is correct. And it comes with the paperwork showing you all of that. So I think that is it. I hope everybody has a great Easter. Speak to you all again soon.